heads of the most powerful families in Florenza, or Florence as we know it these days, we are trying to be the most famous patron in the arts business.
Hi, it's Tarrant.
And Stella from Meeple University on the Dice Tower for Pocket Playthrough video series, where we play a few rounds of the game so you'll get the feeling of how the game plays.
In this video, we will show you Florenza, the 10th Anniversary Edition. Game designed by Stefano Groppi and P.S. Martinson, and published by Postscriptum and Placentia Games. This game was originally released in 2010, and this is the 10th Anniversary Edition, which takes in a few modifications from the card and dice game versions, bringing this new optimized version. Additionally, we are using a Tabletop Simulator prototype of this game, and the rules and components you see may not be final.
Let's play, Tarrant!
Hi everybody, and welcome to our pocket playthrough for Florenza, the 10th Anniversary Edition. In this video, we're going to play one round of this game, and we're going to try to show you as many of the mechanics as we can to give you a good flavour for how it flows and see the rules in action. Now, in order to show as much as we can, we are going to show you round 3. So this is not a game at setup, it's a game after a couple of rounds have been played, because you need a few things to have happened to see some of the mechanics in effect. So I am playing as the Pitti family over here in green.
And I am here in yellow.
You are the Medicis.
Thank you, Medici family.
So we'll give you a quick explanation of what's happened so far. This is the main board, and you can see that we have each constructed one artwork, or commissioned one artwork, in the main area. So this is mine in San Lorenzo, and Stella has done this one here in Santa Maria Novella. So there's no other art on the board. We are both at 0 on the church influence track, but as we'll see in a sec, Stella has moved up on that and is currently the bishop.
Correct.
And then over here on this track, which is ultimately the victory point track, Stella is on 1 and I am on 7. And again, that's because between rounds, whoever is leading takes those points in tokens and goes back to 0, because this determines the turn order. Over here on the right, we have all of the preachers and artists who are available in this round. This is my player board, so this shows what I've done so far. At the moment, I'm only holding one fabric. I've constructed one artwork in my palazzo, and these are all my existing victory point tokens. So these are, they're flipped face down, but you can see those under there. I've gained some points in previous rounds. I've also built 4 workshops across the game.
Now over to my board, I have also 4 workshops here, which the purple one will give me automatic income every round, and this one needs to be activated by my workers, which Tarrant can also come here, which I can go to Tarrant's one as well. I've also got the first player marker, or the captain, and the bishop card, so I'll be first player this round. I've also built a building here in the Chiesa area.
Artwork
in the Chiesa area. So 1 artwork on my board, and I want to try to fill up. So there's 2 part in my player board, so the Chiesa here and the Palazzo here. And if you fill, every time you fill, you get the point and the benefit here, and you complete the area and you actually get extra points. Same with this bottom area.
Yep, so while you're going very much on the church influence track and looking at the artworks that will get you church points, I'm focusing less on that. I'm down in the Palazzo where I can get straight victory points.
Yes, so we shall go to the to my turn first.
Yes, we will go to, we'll go to the first phase of the round, which is income.
So I'm going to do my income first. I am going to get all of these things on the purple background, and one of my building has got purple background. In that case, I'll get 3 workers, which I'm going to put here. These are available for this round. I'm going to have 1 marble here, 1 wood, and as a captain, I can choose 1 resource that everybody will get, which in this case, I'll choose gold, and 200. This is on my main board, and the wood. So Tarrant's going to bring it my resources.
There we go.
Now we go to the main board.
Sorry.
And we go to the main board. We go in here. I have built a building here, which gives me one meeple resource per round. So back to my board, that means I get the 4th meeple.
Yep.
And that's my income phase.
And then you've also on the seal, or on the banner you've put out on the artwork, you've also got a church influence point.
That's correct. So I'll go there now, and I will add 1 point here.
Very good.
Which is right here.
Now we'll go to my board. All right, and so we'll look at my income. My basic income is very much the same. So I get 3 kinsmen. I'll just bring them out. 1, 2, 3. And then I get 1 marble, 1 wood, 1 gold, because this is the one that Stella declared everyone will get as the Capitano del Popolo, and 200 florins.
Which is good for you as well. I mean, but it's more to my advantage.
Yep. And then from my 1 artwork on the main board, I get 1 more kinsman and 2 points. So we'll advance me 2 more steps on this track. Again, it's hard to tell exactly who's winning because a lot of our points are in tokens, not on this track. And I get my 1 other kinsman. So I likewise start with 4 for the round.
Woohoo! We're in a sort of like even ground here.
So now we go to phase 2 of the round, which is the Captain of the People phase. So the other benefit of having the Captain of the People is Stella gets to detain one of the preachers or artists available this round so that only she can use it.
So here are the available artists and preachers. I want to detain something that I can use for this round, so Tarrant can't use it potentially. So I'm gonna get this painter, so I possibly want to paint. So I'm gonna put this in my captain space as a detained artist. Mwah!
Okay, then we do phase 3, which is the bishop phase. And so Stella is the bishop as well. And this has a benefit with the meeples. So Stella gains 1 extra kinsman out of her bag.
How powerful is that? The captain bishop, right?
Yep. So you got 1 more kinsman. And then you also expel 1 of my kinsmen. So I have to take 1 of my kinsmen from my bag and drop it onto the bishop card for the round. So I still have the 4 kinsmen that I had after income, but now my bag only contains 3 more instead of 4 more. And so once we build up kinsman income, that's going to limit my availability.
Probably not at this stage, but probably later on in the round.
Certainly in later rounds, yes. And so now we go to stage 4, the major stage, which is the kinsman phase or the worker placements. So that will be done in turn order.
Starting from me.
Starting from Stella, because the captain is first in turn order. The bishop is next in turn order, if there isn't a captain. So Stella's got first player well and truly locked up here.
So my plan, I've got 5 workers to play around with this round. I'm planning to build something here and here. I mean, to build artwork here and here. Therefore, looking at what I have, I need 100. I need to hire, artists to complete my painting, or those 2 could be paintings. So what I'll do, I'm gonna start getting the resources I need. Starting with marble, I'm gonna need a lot of marble here. Marble Queen, there you go, marble for me.
Very good. All right, now I have this juicy little workshop here that's worth a lot of money, because money can be tight. And I want to get in here quickly before Stella comes and grabs it. This is to sell iron for money.
That's so good.
I don't have any iron, but I've got an iron workshop, and I know Stella has one as well. So
that's a good combo.
I'm not worried about not being able to sell here. It does take a few actions, but I'm going to go there. That will give me some money. And so in this phase, we're just placing our workers to start with. These will, for the most part, be resolved in the next 2 phases.
Back to mine. So I have enough resources to complete this painting. However, I'm going to need a lot of marbles. I could potentially go to the main board here to go to the market to get marble. But in this case, I'm going to go to Tarrant's board to get marble. Ha!
So that's going to give you a second marble round, because yes, there's a lot of artwork that requires marble. And it also blocks me out from getting marble from my own workshop, which could leave me well short of resources I need. But you do have to pay me a victory point
A
to do
victory
that.
point, yes.
Yep, so we'll go to the main board. Okay, and so Stella goes down one step, and I go up one step. And you can do that as long as you've got more than -3 Capitano del Popolo points. Right, so now I will simply go and get iron. So I know I need that iron, and even though Stella's got some there, I want to get it without having to spend the points.
Speaking about iron, Tarrant, I also need an iron, because what I'm going to do requires an iron here. So that is my turn.
Yep, that was always going to be a bit of a standoff on iron, I guess. As soon as one person grabbed it, the other was going to.
Exactly, and this is the thing though. This is the workshop. So we built these workshops at the previous rounds. We started with two in the first one, and then we built this. We can have up to 8 workshops that we can play around. So this is the engine building part, and yeah, I really like this part.
And there's also points involved. At the end of the game, you'll lose points for every empty slot. Really on the whole player board.
There you go.
Okay, now I'm down to only 2 kinsmen, and I've got bigger plans for this turn, so I'm going to take the give to charity action. So that's this one here at my predicatore. So this is the only action that resolves immediately during this phase. So I grab my kinsman and I'll put him there, and then I have to go. Let's remember first, I've got 200 florins to play with. And
this is basically the preacher that you're going to get. So you're going to get this and then put it in your board?
Yep, so up here there's 2 preachers. 2 preachers available. One is what's his name? Savonarola, and the other is Bruno. So I could pick either of those. They will cost me 150 florins, so I can afford that. And then I get the bonus shown at the bottom.
Just this one. I'm going to put it here.
Yep, so I'm going to grab this one because they each have a bonus action. Here I can lose 1 church influence point to gain a wood. Here I can lose 1 victory point to gain a marble. And I'm not really going up on the church influence track, so it doesn't really harm me to lose one of those points.
That's right, so that's what you're going to get.
Yes.
There you go.
So
back to your board.
I come down here, and so the way we set this up is I actually put him on top.
Nice.
And put the tile on there, and then I immediately get the bonus. So first I have to pay 150. I get 2 new kinsmen.
Well done.
And 2. And I get a wood from the effect of that particular preacher. Now, if I'd had a little more money, I could have come to this common space on the board, paid another 100, and gained another kinsman. But I did not have the money, and so I could only use the one on my board for the 2 extra kinsmen. So now I've got an extra wood and 2 new meeples I can play with.
Good work. So my turn now. I'm going to build an artwork here. Now remember the the artist that I detained at the start of the round as a captain. And now I'm going to put this artist to work. Woohoo!
Yep, so that is, you can see that it's the correct type of artwork. It's got the same little icon.
Yep. It was this one here.
Yep. So
that was a painting, and it is required somebody that can paint, and I do have 200. So, or I have 300, so I have enough.
Okay, my 4th action, I'm going to try to construct a workshop. So what we'll do, we'll go to the player aid, because the player aid lists all of the workshops in the game here on the right hand side. These are their costs, and then these are their immediate benefits, and these are their ongoing benefits. And so I have among my resources enough to build this biblioteca. It's a big points earner, so I get 5 points immediately, and then I could spend a worker to get 3 points. Or Stella could spend a worker, pay me a point, get 2 points. So I like the look of it, it's got points. So
Win-win.
I'm going to put the biblioteca up for construction. So we'll come over to the workshop display. This is all the workshops available in the game. I will grab the one I want, then place it face down or on the unbuilt side in my next workshop slot and put a kinsman on top of it.
And this is my last turn. I'm going to try, as I say, I'm going to try to build this. So I need to recruit an artist, which I'm going to recruit here. Now, I don't have a lot of money. I should say I have 0 money. So I'm going to get the El Cheapo one. I'm going to get this guy, which doesn't cost me anything. And I'm going to build, and it doesn't have a tile. So I'm going to just put my kinsman straight on there.
Yep. And so the benefit of getting a better artist is more victory points. If we go back up to those artists, you'll see that on the bottom of each of the tracks, there are some numbers which will represent extra victory points, which essentially you're paying for. So these are a way of converting money into points when you make art. All right, so you're now out of kinsman, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. You've done well, because I thought I have more than you, but now look at you.
I've got the 2 left, yeah. And so, I mean, I spent money to get those. That's the economy in the game. So what I'm going to try to do is construct... Once I've done everything I've already planned for, I'm 1 bag of spices short of this artwork. And I'm going to try to construct that. So the first thing I'll do is I need to go and get some spices. And I know you have a workshop for that.
Oh!
So I will come
Here comes Tarrant.
and I'll plot it down there. So once again, we have to go to the main board and do an exchange of points for that.
Yeah.
So I will lose 1 point.
And I gain point.
And you gain 1 point.
Thank you.
All right, and then the last kinsman will go into producing this work of art. So this is either a sculpture or a painting. So we'll head up to the artists to see who's available. And I can see that I know from counting ahead how much money I have left over. It'd be 50 or 100. And there are 2 sculptors who could make art at that price.
It's pretty cheap anyway here. Just in case you have 50, you can get Francesco Mochi.
Yeah. So
Francisco Mochi.
Yes.
No?
So at the moment, I could get either of these 2 artists. He's grey because he's produced his masterpiece. So his scores are now a little bit lower than they used to be. And really the only difference between them is that he's $50, 50 florins less. And if I roll a 3 on him, I get 1 point instead of 2. So it's it's essentially a 1/6 of a point. So I think that's not worth 50 florins. So I'm going to take this particular artist
and you're going to place it on the tile and then put the kinsman
on the tile there. And the kinsman goes on.
Well done. So that's your last.
That's it, and that is the kinsman phase. So this entire phase, other than my giving to charity action, has been planning. Now we go into phase 5, which is the workshops phase, where we will resolve all of our workshops. All right. So workshops, we resolve them alternating in turn order. So the first workshop resolved is Stella's workshop number 1.
Yep. Which is
that is the spices workshop, and
so
my kinsman is there. So that means I get to take a spice.
Just putting the spice. Yep.
Right, and then my number 1 is this one here, where I am creating iron. So I'm going to take
1 iron.
1 iron,
and that goes to you.
To my own collection.
Fantastic.
Like so.
And then the second is my second workshop, which here I am getting a metal.
That's your iron.
Oh, my iron. Sorry, yeah, metal
so
iron.
I will
give me that.
Give that to you here.
Thank you very much, sir. How kind of you. Now back to you again.
And you are on my marble workshop. So here we will give you 1 marble.
Woohoo!
So we'll head over to your board.
Yep.
There's your marble for that.
Thank you very much. And now it's my workshop where I get another marble.
Another marble.
Surprise! I told you I'm the marble queen. I need a lot of marbles.
Indeed.
And
okay.
then next is your...
My number
which is
3
nothing.
is empty.
Mhm.
So we go to your number 4.
So my number 4 is nothing.
It's an income workshop.
Yeah,
so
I've
nothing
already got
happens
it.
there.
And then back to Tarrant. And we're zipping back and forth here.
Yeah, so my number 4 is my selling of iron. So
Correct.
I'm going to return my iron.
In
And
exchange
gain
to, let's see,
300
300.
florins.
That's really good. Like, this is totally engine building. You have something that produces iron, and then you can turn that iron into 300. And 300 is quite a lot, I think.
It's quite a bit, but then of course you are also able to
To jump on, yeah, there, yeah.
Okay. Ooh, and then I also get 1 point, so I'll just add that on the main board. So this workshop, not only 300 florins, but also 1 point. And then you have no number 5.
No, I
so
don't.
I will resolve my number 5,
Which is building.
which is building this workshop. And all these kinsmen are meant to be going back in the bags as we
Okay.
resolve them. So I'll just take them all off.
I'm gonna prepare your next one, so I'll take this one away.
Yes. All right, so this is the cost to construct this workshop. 2 wood, 1 fabric, and 200 florins.
I'll put it away for you.
So remove that. Now, I gain these 5 victory points here. So let's go to the main board. Okay, so I gain 5 points. I go up to 14.
Well done, Tarrant.
And then we flip the workshop back over to the completed side. So now that is a
Wow.
place where anyone can come and gain 3 points.
That's pretty good. Even like, you're right, even though for me, if I go there, I net 2 points.
Okay, and that is all of the... Now there are other actions that can be completed during the workshop phase, and those are the market, the family business, and the captains of fortune. So you can place workers there during the kinsman phase, and that will give you ways of buying the resources that you couldn't construct in a workshop at a high price, of course. Simply gaining 50 florins, and then the captains of fortune give you different ways of spending money to gain points, and you can, there's no specific order for that. You can do that at any point during the workshop phase, but none of us went there this turn, so that all is skipped.
So the next phase, I'm going to build one of my 2 buildings. And I'm going to build the top one first, this one, because I've got a higher point artist. So maybe that's going to be, you know, I just want to see how it goes. So this will go out after the building phase.
Yes. So
And I need to pay.
you need to pay. So the total cost is the cost shown under the artwork, which is an iron, a gold, and a marble.
Mm-hmm.
And then the cost of the artist himself.
Which is 200, as we see before.
Yes.
Which is this one. So this will go away. The first thing I'm going to get the 3 points and 1 bishop. Church influence. So we'll go to the main board here.
Yep.
The Tarrant will give me that.
1 church influence point.
And then give me 3 points.
3 points on there.
Very good.
Okay.
And back to my board again. I will need to place a building here. My family crest. Sorry. Yes, thank you.
Like that.
So put 1 there. Ta-da! It's built.
Yep. And then finally, you gain the points for the artist.
Mm-hmm.
So we return the artist tile.
Mm-hmm. Let's go to that.
up
So
to-
this was this one
is,
here. Get a
Caravaggio.
visual.
Yep.
So I will take.
And then we
Thank you.
roll a die.
Dun dun dun. Oh no!
So that is a
2.
2. So with Caravaggio,
Mm-hmm.
you would gain 2. By rolling a 2, you would gain 3 extra victory points here. Now, you do possibly have the opportunity, if you've got the money, to have a re-roll. Do you have any spare money?
I don't think I do. Let's have a look. I have 100, but I'm gonna need it for this, so I have no money. So in that case, I'll just have the 3 points.
Yeah, it's bad news in this game to plan something and then not do it, because you will actually lose points by doing that.
I know.
Normally, Yeah, if you had a spare 50, you'd be able to use the Muse over here on the left.
Just this one, yeah.
Which is a once-off chance for somebody to get a reroll.
Yeah.
But with no extra money, you don't have that available.
And now I'm building the second one. So here I am, putting my kinsman away, paying the cost, which is 100, 1 marble, and 2 wood here.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I will get the point, which is 4 and 1 bishop. And I get 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and Tarrant's giving me 1 bishop.
One bishop.
Now I still need to roll the dice, although it's a El cheaper one. So here's the dice, and it will be this person here, and I will roll to see that I get number 1, which is I actually lose point. Oh no, I don't have any money as well to re-roll it, so I'll lose 1 point here, unfortunately, people. So sad. But on the bright track, I am now reaching this point, so I'm actually bishop again.
Yes, you've got 3 on there, which is enough to win to qualify to be bishop again, which we'll see soon is worth some points. Okay, so we come to my artworks. I'm only constructing the one. Now, so I'll put the kinsman back in the bag. If we remember, this artist cost 50 florins to hire. It was not a very expensive artist. And then I need another 50 florins. So let me just grab this 50 back.
And get 100.
Get a total of 100.
Yep.
And then all my remaining resources. So they all go into this artwork here. Again, I've got to put a normal family crest on it, but it will score me 4 points and 1 church point. Okay, so that's 4 main points. 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's a lot of points.
And 1 church influence. And didn't I spend a church influence before? I think I did on the preacher. I must have forgotten to drop it, so I should have dropped that down to there. And now I return to 0, which is going to save me a point at the end of the round, which is good. Okay, now we also get to see whether this is a masterwork of the artist. So I'm going to roll the die, and it's a 3.
So
I
1
could
point.
take 1 point, or I could use the Muse. So it's 50 florins for a point, potentially. I'm going to give it a try. So let's...
Let's do it now, and then we'll pay later.
Yep, alright. So I'm going to give it a reroll.
I know you have the money.
Yep. I only just have the money.
Oh, no!
I didn't. Okay. So I can still pick the higher of the 2. It doesn't matter in this case. But it means I'm going to get 1 extra point.
So I'll give you the points,
Yes. And then let's go down here. So I spend the extra 50 florins.
Yep.
And, I mean, I'm the last player anyway, but flip over the Muse so no one else can use her this round. Alright, so, we've each been producing some art here. One thing I'll just point out, because it hasn't been triggered in this round, but Stella has done 3 of her 4 Chiesa artworks. So when she fills in the 4th one, which I'm sure she'll try to do next round, that's why she took that marble from me, it'll be 2 immediate church points and an ongoing 2 per round. So specialising in one area really gets you some good income.
And also at the same time, the Palazzo, if you fill it up, you get 4 immediate points and then 4 income points per round. So that's also really good.
But on the other hand, you're going to lose 1 point for every artwork on your board that you don't complete. And if you leave an entire space empty, you lose an additional 4. Which is why if we look back at my player board, I've at least made sure that I've avoided that by getting 1 on each. There's also the artwork on the main board that we can construct. And when we do, that's when we're allowed to use these family crests that have the income markers on them.
I'll show you as well on the main board.
Yep.
That is this one at the top, and this one, this, and they're quite expensive. So I would imagine to place it towards the end of the game, because we on round 3 up here, so we're going up to 7 rounds all up. And as we go, we also build our engine, and then maybe has got some automatic income and more kinsmen to use each round.
Yep. Of course, we both built one here, one of the lower cost ones, in the first couple of rounds to make sure we unlocked these extra incomes. Okay, so that's the end of the decision making that happens in a round. Now we've got to clean up the round, and there's 2 phases of that. First is the turn order phase. And the first thing we do is we determine the new Capitano del Popolo, Captain of the People. And this, put simply, is whoever is leading on this victory point track. So that's me. I've got 19 points. So what we do, we reset my score on this track to 0. We do not reset Stella's.
Yes, and then next time is you actually get this by points. So there's some points over here.
Okay, so let's sort out 19 points off this track, like so. I take these as these little shields, and then I can flip them all over so you can't see what they are, and move them down to my player area. Right, and then I take those point markers and I get the Captain of the People card from Stella. And then as Captain of the People, I become first in turn order, like so. Next we resolve the Bishop, and again in more than 2-player game, the Bishop would be second in turn order, but in a 2-player game, that's already decided with the Captain. So first things first, whoever is leading on the Church Influence track, which is Stella, becomes the Bishop as long as she is on at least step 3, which she is. She's gained 3 steps.
Indeed. I work hard for it.
Yes. So same thing happens as on the other side. She will reset to 0 and will gain, in this case, 1 victory point, which is shown here.
Yep. Thank you.
1 step up on that. And will retain the Bishop card. Now, the other thing you check for is a player becoming the Cardinal. And this happens when essentially the player who already is the Bishop becomes the Bishop again. And Stella has done that in this case.
Of course.
So as a reward for that, Stella will gain victory points equal to the number of players in the game. So that sort of reflects that it's a lot harder to do in a higher player count game. Easier in this game, so it's worth 2 victory points, but 2 points is 2 points. It all counts and it's all good. Okay, and that then brings us to the end of the round, which is setting up for the next round. Now, in this Tabletop Simulator build for the game, some of this is scripted, but some of it's not. So we're going to talk through all the steps and then hit the next round button to make it happen.
Automatically for you.
Yep. So firstly, we do get back all of our kinsmen who are still not in the bag, which includes that one on the Bishop tile.
Yep. It's for you back.
The Muse flips over
back
to her other side. If there are any tiles, like artist tiles or preacher tiles left, like I see that one here, that returns to the card whence it came. And then what happens is we manipulate the available artists and preachers. So all of the cards under number 1 are going to be removed from the game. All of the remaining cards will slide 1 step to the left. And then we draw new tiles and new cards at random equal to the number that we lost. So there'll still be 7 there in a 2-player game. And all of that's what's going to happen when I hit the next round button. So I'll click that. And you can see we still have 7. We've got someone who's come out at number 6. If we zoom in on these cards, you can see that each of them has a number that represents how long it's going to be in the game. So Michelangelo would be there for 6. What else do we? And Vasari, who's the other one who came out, is only in the game for 1.
Yeah, what's good about it as well, this is actually real people, so real artwork, real artists. So you kind of like feel like you are hiring these artists, and then once they make a masterpiece, they're not worth as much anymore. So that's it, done.
Everyone's got one masterpiece in this.
Yeah.
Hopefully this one is ours. This playthrough here.
Yes.
Our masterpiece.
So that's the game. I really like this engine building aspect. Well, I haven't actually been lucky enough to play the previous version of the game, but that engine building plus, this really tight game. Yeah, it's my kind of game. What do you think, Tarrant?
Yeah, I like the action draft is really tight. That's what I like in a worker placement sort of game.
Yeah.
You've got to choose your order carefully, because it really gets tight. And then that brings us to the end of the round. So we would head straight into the income phase for the next round. And so this would be round 4 for this game. The game plays over 7 rounds. And with that, we will conclude our pocket playthrough for Florenza.
Thanks for watching.
And that's our pocket playthrough for Florenza, the 10th anniversary edition. We hope you enjoyed this video.
If you enjoyed this video, please help us by hitting that like button and subscribe to the Dash Tower if you haven't already done so.
And finally, if you have any questions, comments or feedback, please write them in the comment section below.
Until next time.